Okay, this video is not really about you passing the state exam, but rather responding to a lot of questions I get once you're licensed to what do I do now, right? How do I become a multi-millionaire real estate agent? Well, I figured I should just put on video what I have on phone conversation probably 10 times a week. The first thing is you need to really understand you are starting a business, okay? So just like if you were starting a legal service business, a designer business, a CPA business, you're selling services. So number one, really decide what is it you're selling. What is your product or service? Now, obviously, in real estate, it's easy to say, "Oh, well, I'm selling my real estate services," but that's way too broad. Are you meaning you want to be a leasing agent? You want to sell commercial buildings? You want to sell condos in Los Angeles? What exactly is your service that you're offering? So get clear on that. Okay? And it might be as simple as, I want to help clients buy and sell real estate in Sherman Oaks, or I want to help first-time home buyers. I want to concentrate on seniors that are downsizing. So now don't think that because you're focusing on a specific service to somebody or to a group that, oh, well, now my friends are not going to call me. No, they are. It's just you need to have some focus, right? You can't just say, I'm serving everybody, because then you'll serve nobody. Then along the lines of what exactly is your service, I'm helping people sell their big home and buy a one-story near their grandkids, or my specialty is really going to be helping people find equestrian property, or my specialty is going to really be helping people stop paying rent, become first-time home buyers. Now when you've kind of started to clear your vision, and it automatically leads to, well, then who's my customer? Okay, if that's kind of my service specialty, then who exactly is my customer? Okay, that's where you really need to decide your targets. If we were starting any business, we'd say, well, who's going to buy our hamburger? Who's going to buy our lawnmower services? Well, it might be a geographic customer. It might be, well, everyone that lives in this geographic area, or it might be all my people in my sphere of influence, all my friends, family, neighbors. So that's often in our business called your farm. So you can have a geographic farm, an area that you consistently market to. You door knock, you have the shopping carts at the local grocery store with your face on it, you have the bus benches, more of a geographic farm. Or you have a network farm that you market, communicate, build bridges with people that already have a bias for you because maybe they've known you from another industry, they're part of a group you belong to. So you're very clear on what exactly your service is going to be, and now you're very clear on who your low-hanging fruit's going to be, who's going to be your customer, right? Who are you selling that service to? And once you kind of knock those two things out, you can then start concentrating on what we may call the tactics. Okay, you've decided that you're going to help people downsize from their big home to one-stories by their grandkids. Or you've decided that you're really going to concentrate on helping people stop paying $3,000 a month rent and buying their first condo or townhome. So that's quickly led to, well, then my customers must be first-time home buyers. They tend to be younger. Or my customers are, people over 60 that have probably paid off their home. By really focusing on what your service is and to whom, you're now way ahead of the game when it comes to your actual marketing tactics, your actual dollars spent marketing where, right? Because now if you ask me, well, Armando, where should I spend my marketing money? I was going to buy like $10,000 worth of Instagram stories. And when I ask you, well, what exactly are you selling and to whom? And you go, oh, I'm selling my real estate services to people downsizing because everyone in my area is over 60 and they're all talking about one stories. And then I go, is grandma really on Instagram stories? Is grandma shaking her thong on Instagram? No, no. So probably a waste of money to spend $10,000 on social media marketing to grandma. If that's who you told me is your target, your customer, to whom. Well, now it begs a different question. How does grandma like to receive information? Well, I'll tell you, my mom, she's about 60. She loves getting the mail. She knows when the mailman's coming, right? She'll tell me, son, hijo, the mailman didn't show up today. She's very concerned, right? Because she's looking forward to that mail. And then, even though I tell her not to, she answers the door. Someone's at the door. She goes up to answer the door. She wants to have a conversation. So how would I market to that group? I'd probably do big oversized postcards with big oversized writing. I maybe would go knock on the door and leave a flyer. However, if you told me, oh no, my target, my group that I'm really concentrating on is those 30-somethings that are tired of paying rent, tired of burning money on making the landlord rich, and they're kind of ready to finally find their townhome or their condo or even their small first home. Well, great. Should you be sending them a huge oversized postcard? No. If you know anyone under 30, they don't even go to the mailbox. They don't even understand what a mailbox is. So I probably wouldn't be sending them the mail. They don't go to the grocery store, so buying that huge, Gelson's shopping cart ad, well, that may impress grandma, who shops at Gelson's twice a week, but not Betty and Mikey, who only go to Chipotle and use DoorDash. So by understanding to whom you're selling your service to, you're not going to waste a lot of time and money. So now you're like, well, now maybe Mikey and Betty, who are 29 and 32, I bet you they do spend a lot of time on Instagram, because you do, and you're 29 or 32, right? They probably do swipe up on stories. They probably do click on Facebook stories. So it's probably a good idea to spend money on your social media marketing as opposed to your direct mail marketing when it comes to those people. So that's why it's so important to decide what exactly are you selling and to whom, and then your tactics make more sense. Direct mail postcards, magazines, flyer drop-off, Instagram stories, social media marketing, networking. Now you can choose the tactic most appropriate to your target, right? A while ago, it's called marketing communications, right? How does your specific client like to be communicated with in that arena? So that's the first step, right? Understand you're starting a business and be clear on who your customer is. And then be very clear on how you're going to communicate with them, and then how frequently that communication is going to be. Because not everyone's ready to buy right now. It may not even be on their mind today, but it may be big on their mind 2 weeks from now. How frequently are you going to communicate to them? And yes, does it cost money? Yes. Breathing costs money. So I don't know if you thought you were going to start a business with no money. I don't know what to say. Now, can it possibly be done? Yes, but it takes time. If you don't have money, then you need time. What might be an example of time? Well, if you're marketing to a geographic area, and so are other people, right? So is the pizza man, so is the locksmith, so is the gardener, then maybe you coordinate some big marketing postcard that has all the other people on it. You say, listen, I'll coordinate everything, I'll create the marketing, everything. You'll go on Fiverr and spend $10 on creating a postcard, and then you'll collect from everybody else so that yours is little to nothing, right? Or maybe if you're like, well, I don't have any money, you're not willing to work hard and do Uber, do Lyft, do a side hustle to get money to market. You just want it to happen. You didn't marry rich and you weren't born rich, and you don't want to work hard. Well, I don't know what to say. Maybe then you have to get more creative. But if you're like, hopefully the majority of you, they're like, no, I understand I'm starting a business, and I've started to put some money away because I know my number one expense in real estate is marketing. What I love about this business is you don't have to go buy a building, you don't have to hire employees, you don't have to buy inventory to resell. The only thing you're spending your marketing on, or your money, is marketing yourself. To who? To the people you said you wanted to target. On what frequency? The frequency that you think would be effective, 3 times a month, twice a month. The tactics that you think are effective for that target. direct mail, flyers, door knocking, or Instagram stories, emails, and phone calls and text messages. Whatever is most effective to communicate to them. And as you're starting to do all this, hopefully you're now starting to create some value proposition, another old 80s term, value proposition. Why you? A value proposition answers the question, why you? Like, why should someone work with you in 5 minutes or less, and hopefully 1 minute or less? Now, you may go, I don't know, I haven't sold anything, I don't know anything. Well, then fix that. Maybe you can't fix selling something, but you can fix knowing something. If you decided you're going to focus on that senior group that's downsizing, well, what are their concerns? What are their questions? Hey, can I take my property tax with me? Because that's a very big deal. Because I bought my house so long ago that my property taxes are very low. If I sell, can I take my property taxes with me? Well, how can you find out? Call the county assessor yourself. It's very simple. Whatever county you live in, LA County, San Diego County, Orange County, call. They love to pick up the phone at the tax collector's office because they think money's coming in. And go, hey, I want to know if I'm 65 and I sell my house, can I take the property taxes to the next house? And they'll explain to you all about Prop 55 and Prop 60 and a new Prop 19, where there's some big benefits to being older and being able to sell your home and taking that low property tax base with you. And that might be one of the comments on your postcard or when you're starting conversation, right? What else does a senior downsizing want to know? Well, what about taxes? Not just property taxes, but they probably bought a long time ago, so it's probably they're going to make a lot of money, and maybe they're concerned with paying a lot of taxes. So what could you do? Well, have you heard of a CPA? Have you heard of a tax man? Do you pay taxes yourself? Call them up. Go, hey, listen, could you tell me what happens when you make a lot of money when you sell your house? Oh, the primary residence tax exemption. If you're held the house for more than 2 years, you get $250 tax-free, $250,000 tax-free of profit. Oh, and if you're married, that's $500. Start learning. Start educating yourself, right? Or if you told me you're targeted that first-time home buyer, probably the issues for them are totally different than that senior. The issues for them is, I don't have a big down payment. I don't really understand loans. So maybe you should pick up the phone and call a mortgage broker, and trust me, they're happy to talk to you and say, listen, could you tell me how a 28, 30-year-old first-time home buyer would get a loan? What are some options for them? Oh, well, there's this FHA loan that's government insured. It allows them to put as little as 3.5% down payment. They don't need 10, 20%. Oh, and it allows their credit not to be perfect. Oh, okay, that's great. Hey, if I get someone, could I have them talk to you? Absolutely. Da-da-da. That's what you do. So if you really want to start your business, be successful, you got to put in work. But you got to be smart, right? You got to ask the right questions, and you can't just say, oh, I'm just going to join an office, and they're going to wave a magic wand, and all of a sudden, I'm going to know everything. There's 300 people like you that just joined that office. You think they spend time with each one of you? No. That's why in my Got My License Now What workshop, I stress getting a mentor. Finding someone at the office that is going to answer your 30 million questions and hopefully guide you in a positive direction. And let me just clear one thing. No one's going to hand you business. Let me be clear. No one is going to hand you business. For those of you that are going, I just want to work for somebody in the beginning. Excuse me. Got a new puppy making me have allergies. So no one's going to say, oh, here you go. Here's $20,000 client. No. I know you hope that's the truth, but no. Realtors work their own clients, and realtors really fly alone. You'll hear some that, I have a team. It'll last for like 6 months. They'll get in a fight with that people because partners are only for dancing. So when someone says I have a team, what they're really saying is, when I absolutely cannot get to a crappy lead, I'm going to give it to you. And if you happen to get some miracle out of it, I'm going to take half, and then we also have to give some money to the office. So, it's probably better to maybe begin by yourself from the beginning. Treat your business as a business from the beginning. Okay, I hope that helped you, at least as far as your framing and thinking of this business. If you'd like to talk more, I guess my info will be below this. Call me, email me, and we can talk more, especially if you're thinking of joining an office. All right.